ndax Eyeafrica TV teg ci bu ñu demee ci kanam Mariama.
jërëjëf Garbi li nga wax am na solo torop parce que foog naa ne lii fi mu nekk nii moo lëmbee réew mi politique la wala loo xamante ne la li ñu doxal li ñu sare pour ma ñu bàyyi gars yi suma naataango yi rek ñu nuyu ñi nga xamante ne ñun lañ fi am muy Alaaji Mamadi Kurang nag moom politicien la fii si réew mi ak li nga xam ne ngi yëngatu tam si li nga xamante ne mooy economic expert maanaam si fi koppar daal xarañ na si lool su ma jógee si Mamadi Kurang ñu ngi am Sa Ndiaye moom it keneen la koo xamante ne réew mi ràññee nañ ko si fi political analysis maanaam di def jàngat si li nga xamante ne mooy politique yi réew mi moom it tamit am nañ ko fii tey ñu fas yéene ànd ak ñoom rek pour rek programme bi ni dem yoon waaye balaa ñoo commencé rek gis ngeen comme ni ñu ko defee opposition bi ñu ne political hunt witch hunt la maanaam li ñu toppee opposition bi pour rek Daniel Guy si li nga xamante ne mooy élection bi ñëw waaye government bi ñoom na samp nañ seen tànka ne lii nekkul yi fi politique yi fi mbir la loo xamante ni ne dinañ mën a yóbbu réew mi ci kanam ñu wàññi njuut njaajeeg yooyu noonu waaye balaa ñoo laata dugg si biir programme bi dinañ am benn vidéo bu ñoo play suñ ko seetaanee rek ñu ñëwaat dellusiwaat waxtaan suñ gan ñu fi am ñu seetaan vidéo.
Prior to the government move to establish a 5-member commission of inquiry to look into the dealings of all councils across the country between May 2018 and December 2022, the leader of the United Democratic Party had warned President Barrow that any attempt to institute a commission of inquiry to seek an injunction against UDP mayors and chairpersons will be met with strong resistance. Darboe's remarks, however, did not stop the president setting up a commission to probe into the local government councils, financial transactions and other related activities. Meanwhile, on behalf of the government, the Minister of Justice, while responding to Ousseynou Darboe, says that Section 200 subsection 1C empowers the president to look into matters of public interest, the conduct or management of any department or authority of the public service or any local government authority or public enterprise. In a statement, the Justice Ministry also indicates that based on numerous reports from the area councils and municipalities, including ones controlled by UDP, the allegations of corruption and abuse of office at the Kanifing Municipal Council are a case in point. Accordingly, the AG Chambers observed that Ousseynou Darboe's stern condemnation of the establishment of a commission of inquiry into these allegations in the municipality administered by his political party is a worrying development. The Justice Ministry further states that the characterization of it believed to be a legitimate commission as a witch hunt by Mr. Darboe is uncontemptible, given that the commission's term of reference cover all councils and not just those led by his UDP party. According to the Justice Ministry, Darboe should know that commissions of inquiry are transparent and civilian-led inquiries, providing an opportunity for a very transparent and apolitical investigative process due to the public nature of its proceedings, while reminding the UDP leader of being subject of past commission's inquiry and adverse findings on tax evasion. The government says Mr. Darboe lacks the moral authority to condemn this commission, and if anything, it is he who has a vendetta against legitimate investigations by seeking to block this inquiry into area councils and municipalities. Defending the government's decision, the Justice Ministry said the setting up of the commission is meant to ensure accountability for councils and enhance transparency and fiscal responsibility, and that it will not be deterred by unsubstantiated political statements and far-flung conspiracy theories. The formation of the Commission of Inquiry to scrutinize the local council's activities has generated divergent reactions among Gambians home and abroad. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Mariama Cham.
Well, that was a story, a press release rather, released by the Minister of Justice, the Justice Ministry, condemning what Darboe said. It could be recalled that last week, Ousseynou Darboe, in a political rally, has warned the president to, do away from creating this commission, because all he is doing is to, it's a political witch hunt, like to frustrate, the councils, and it could be known that the council is mainly dominated by the United Democratic Party. So Ousseynou Darboe feel like setting up this commission is just to frustrate these councils. So let me start with Mr. Jai. Talks have been going on, political, this is politics. government said no, this is just accountability to make sure that the council has some checks and balances. So I'm looking at the whole situation. Do you think this is a politically motivated, or what do you think?
Well, thank you very much. I think, forums or conversations like this are very important, especially looking at the stage that we are as far as the local government elections are concerned. I think, all and sundry will agree that setting up of commissions of inquiry is something that the president has powers to do in line with the Constitution, and as rightly stated by the Ministry of Justice. Nobody will dispute that. However, it is also important that we try to contextualize issues. When we say, what I mean by contextualize issues is, we look at, not everything that is constitutional has to be done. Sometimes you look at the necessity, whether it is necessary, whether it is needed at a particular material, at a particular point in time. It's just like when we look at the coup plot, the alleged coup plot. There is this High Court of the Gambia, there is court-martial. People have been accused of, plotting to overthrow the government of the Gambia. You can simply take them before a competent court of law. Why do you have to set up an investigative panel to work for a whole month? While the panel is working, you charge them before a court of law, and then, the process is on. So then you ask yourself whether that investigative panel was actually necessary at that point in time. Now, coming also with a commission of inquiry, I think the Barrow government, in some of my media appearances, have said this government has turned to be a government of commissions. Commissions upon commissions, commissions have been set up, commissions whose work have not yielded anything positive for us as far as transparency and accountability is concerned. And of course, coming up with this commission as well, like I said, nobody would question the legitimacy. Legality, or legally speaking, yes, the president has the powers to set up a commission. Whenever, in line with the Constitution, whenever there are matters that are of public interest or concern. And of course, the commission, like is set up in the case of the councils also, that is the justification that is being used.
Okay.
However, we ask ourselves, and I've said this is my submission. In the first place, there is the National Audit Office report about the activities of all these councils. These councils are also appearing before the FPAC committee of the National Assembly. It's there. Audit queries have been raised by this FPAC committee as far as these councils are concerned. Now, why do you have to set up a commission to investigate when already the National Audit Office is there, when already a committee from the National Assembly, FPAC, is already there?
Okay, so is this really a witch hunt, like many people would say?
Yeah, I will get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to that. So I'm looking at the necessity, whether it was necessary to do it, to set up a commission.
So to you it's not necessary?
Exactly. I don't have a problem with, ensuring that there is, fiscal discipline, there is financial accountability as far as the activities of councils are concerned. But is it really necessary to set up a commission, yet again, waste tax? Because I call all these commissions, these bogus commissions, as wastage of taxpayers' money.
But don't you think like it is important, because looking at the audit report that you're saying, and the councils appearing back, we have so many like financial misrepresentation. We heard it from the auditors, like the missing vouchers, like councils using millions to put it into one area, which that like they describe as not very well constructed. Let's say, example, like BCC, they've used over like $13 million to construct an abattoir, which the auditors said it was not even constructed properly. So don't you think these are issues that we need to look at in council?
Of course, there are issues that we need to look at. And I want to, make reference to the statement by the Minister of Justice. Of course, for me, that was not, in fact, that was very misguided.
Misguided the statement by the
Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
And it is very disappointing that somebody like Honorable Dauda Jallow leading that ministry will come with such a very misguided statement. I don't even, if you look at the heading of the press release and the content, they are quite different. The heading is talking about explaining to us the formation of the commission. But if you read the content of this press release, it was more of a personal response, or response to Usainu Dabo. They should have made it very clear, response to UDP leader. and not necessarily to tell us that they were explaining. And one line in the press release says that Usainu Dabo does not have the moral standing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And he has been charged with
That's why I said it was more of a personal response to Usainu Dabo
than a general response.
Than explaining the need. I think they should have explained the need for setting up the commission. Everybody knows that it's constitutional and all that. Tell us, what is the need to set up this commission? How will this be beneficial to us as far as transparency and accountability is concerned? Now, if Dabo doesn't have the moral standing or whatever, fine. Equally, President Barrow does not have the moral license and moral standing to set up any commission to investigate corruption allegations in this country, because President Barrow himself and his office are guilty as charged. If you are telling me that councils have mismanaged millions of dollars, how many reports have been revealed here by the National Audit Office? Secret report, okay? We talked about $164 million.
Okay.
Now, $669 million have initially been revealed here by the National Audit Report. The Banjul Road project, okay? Almost all government institutions in this country. I think this is not secret to any one of us. If anybody is honest in this country, we know that all government institutions in this country, including Office of the President, is involved in alleged corrupt practices, and of course, the secret report from the National Audit Office will tell us that.
Yeah.
So the Ministry of Justice, even the Ministry of Justice, did advise the government entering into such contract, but then they went ahead, ignored that advice by the Ministry of Justice. Therefore, charity begins at home. If really President Barrow is serious about fighting corruption, he should have started with his own office that dubiously engaged in the signing of that contract, the secret report contract, and now they are looting from the poor taxpayers by asking the government to pay $164 million.
Okay, so you earlier said it's not even necessary. The commission is not necessary.
So for me, it's just simply a witch hunt.
A witch hunt.
A political witch hunt.
A political witch hunt to frustrate the UDP, right?
I mean, whether it's UDP or whoever, but it's a political witch hunt directed at its political opponents.
Councils are dominated by
exactly, because
but the thing is, you know, this the commission is set for 3 months, and they might even continue the commission, or the commission will continue even after the presidential local council's election, which means if, for example, let's say Talib wins KMC, he will still be the mayor, but notwithstanding, he will still attend the commission, because the commission will pass the election period.
But in 3 months, I think shortly before the election, they will have to submit their report or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that when you look at the timing of this, they're saying from 2018 to 2023.
Yes.
That was 2019. That was 2020. That was 2021. That was 2022. Why didn't you investigate? Why do you have to wait till now? And also, we have to bear in mind that there was a judgment at the High Court, at the Supreme Court, I think, which says that council cannot be dissolved 3 months before the local government election. So it seems all those are marked of frustration for the president, that he's not able to get people in the council, okay, probably who may do whatever they want to do. And now the only way to kind of, frustrate their efforts is to get a commission of inquiry.
Okay. Yeah. So Mr. Njai is saying the commission is there to frustrate the UDP people. So we'll come to that, back to that again. Mr. Kurang, we have seen reports. We have seen councils missing vouchers. We have seen, like the auditor's report, they spend finance or monies where like it was not supposed to be spent, or there are some issues there. So how, economically, how do you think this will affect local councils and also people in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's obviously very significant. Because, you see, we can have two types of corruption. You have, incidental corruption cases whereby, you find out that maybe this and this department, this and this place, somebody did that. Yeah, but you also have corruption systems that are systematized. When I say corruption is systematized, you see it as a pattern, that continues possibly to repeat itself, you know, from one department to another, or from one level of the same department to another level. So, you know, when you distinguish between these two types of corruption, the effects of a systematic corruption, where you find it at every level or at different levels, you know, and also at different similar units or organizations within a country, you know, it becomes really more damaging for the economy compared to when it is an isolated case. That does not mean that, like, as an accountant, I would say every butut is important, because if you give me a set of accounts to balance up, you know, I'm looking for the last butut to balance them up, and I do not underrate that last butut, you know, and say it's just a butut, because we will tell you in this profession, a butut can lead you to $1 million. So no corruption is actually, you know, meant to be underestimated. I'm not sure the issue of whether the commission is necessary or not. Well, I was listening to the news report of the minister that the press release, and he was reading, and there is one particular phrase that really catches my thinking, which is that it's a political investigative process. It's a process. It's an investigation, but it's political. There is no commission that is not political. Okay. From the Al-Ghali Commission, from the TRRC, from the Jammeh Commission, you know, from all the commissions that have been there, even in the days, they have the 1981 commission. After the coup d'etat, after Kukoi, we had a commission here. So why is it every commission is political? And first, it's set up by politicians. And number two, you know, every commission is set up with an agenda to achieve a particular purpose. Now, the politicians have to define that agenda. And what agenda would you give a politician that does not have a political
So what do you think is the agenda behind this commission then?
I'm coming to that point.
Okay.
So politics is the encompassing thing. You have all these small variables inside politics. Economics is affected by politics. The law is affected by politics. You send them to parliament, they are all voted, and you are asking them to make a law. So your legal system is a political system. It's a product of the political system. You send them to the ministries, you ask them to make the laws of the finance ministry. They set the tax laws for you, they tell you how much you should pay. They are politicians. So it is, as the Justice Minister said, a political investigative process. Okay. So why it is set up in the terms of reference. Now, I would not come out and say, oh, a commission should not be set up simply because there is a corruption somewhere and that was never investigated. Obviously, number one, I said not every type of fraud or corruption is actually need a commission. Now, people need to understand one thing. There is a difference between what a commission does and what an audit does. There is a difference between what a commission does and what a parliamentary committee looking after government bodies do. The audits that the auditors do, we said you are there to look at the financial statements and then form an opinion as to whether this is a true and fair view. But you are not there as an auditor to detect fraud. Yes, so when you call an auditor to come and audit you, he is not for fraud detection. He is actually to say whether, obviously they make a caveat which says that we will carry out our work in a way that if there is material misstatement, our work will detect it. So auditors are always try to surround themselves with that clause that it is not my job to detect fraud. It is the job of the management of the company or the organization to detect and prevent fraud. So who is the management now in a council? The management in a council is obviously the people you see on TV talking, either defending the council or talking against the council. The Ministry of Local Government is part of the management because they nominate the CEO. The councillors and the mayor are part of the management because as far as we know, they are running the show.
Okay.
They are claiming credibility for what the council is doing. So they are the management of the council. It is their responsibility to detect fraud and prevent fraud. So why do you need a commission then when you have an audit?
Okay.
Why do you need a commission when you have an audit? There is a difference between an audit and a forensic audit.
So are you saying the auditors alone could have done the job instead of the government setting up a commission to look into the financial issues?
No, I was saying that a government having auditors does not necessarily mean that it cannot come up with a commission. I'm saying you can have auditors and still have a commission because the auditors audit, but they do not do what is called forensic auditing.
Okay.
The commission, if you watch a financial commission, your job is forensic.
Okay.
It's a forensic job.
Okay.
I mean, you ask for all these documents, not only from the company or the organization you are auditing, you go and ask for documents from other organizations relevant to that, like from banks, from the register of companies, from companies that are just named within your investigation. You ask for all these proofs, you bring them. You are doing a forensic job.
Okay.
And an auditor, a government auditor cannot do that.
Okay.
Only a commission can do that.
Okay.
So you got to be at least judgmental when you are weighing whether it's necessary or not.
Okay. So we'll come back to you, Ganmi. Issa Ndiaye mu doon wax si fi commission bi moom nag taxaw na tànkam ne lii nekkul loo xamante ne lu war la woon sax wala lu ko jaar sayt na fi ay commission yoo xamante ne mujjeewul fen waaye tey ñu li waral tey commission bi mooy FPAC parce que ñoom FPAC ki ko jiite UDP la waaw te fekkente ne waaw ma bëggoon nga ñëwee foofu noonu
waaw man dafa am sax foofu mooy sëñ bi Ndiaye fi ngay waxee maanaam am na ñu bari ñu jàpp yi ne dafa yellu jot jekk ngir ñu lëñ bët kansul yi maanaam nguur gu suufe gi ndax it nag njuuj njaaj fu mu war a nekk def ko c'est biir wax ma foog ne ak fu njuuj njaaj mënte amee amul ne fii defoon nañ ko xooluñ ko wala fële defoon nañ ko buñ gisee loo xam ne njort nañ ne am na ay njuuj njaaj yu ci am ma jàpp ne est-ce que yellu it ñu lëñ bët foofu.
Sometimes, you know, it's quite interesting. I mean, li ma nekk di wax mooy ne, and I said it very clearly, I don't have a problem with the government coming up with mechanisms to ensure that there is transparency and accountability. There is physical or financial responsibility on the part of government institutions or councils or whatever you call them. Lulu almost even problem. While we cannot also negate the fact that since 2017 when this government came to power, corruption has been decentralized in this country. It has been condoned as well. Mënuñoo talk, nguur gi ñëw. You see, government is very cunning and they know how to easily manipulate the minds of people. Mënuñoo talk by 2023, shortly before local government elections, all of a sudden, nguur gi génn ñu ne dañoo set up a commission to look into the financial dealings of councils and all that. And then we want to justify by saying that, wow, come corruption am na fii, loolu miidut ne commission will set up. Understand Alimawa? So what we are trying to say is that Ngurgi Sude really, the government is interested in transparency and financial accountability, which form the cornerstone of democracy. Then cover a deaf across the board. You can't just sit down, pay rec. And the funny thing is that in the past weeks or in the past days, the media houses have been serializing the National Audit Office report. You know, from the Secure Report, Banjul contract, a lot of other reports, and of course, you know, Malagan, you know, Nyoko Guinea. That has been happening, and all of a sudden, within those days, the government just jumped and said, we're setting up a commission. So, if we are honest to ourselves as citizens, let's look at it from a broader perspective. We don't talk like, you know, wow, or just because corruption is happening there, then that doesn't mean that good. In ensuring that there's accountability, there's transparency, the corruption, there are law. Because if you look at it, comme Lumbwa, every commission has a purpose. And if you look at the broader purpose of this commission, corruption is what? That is it, that we fight corruption. So we are saying that President Bisibopam Gisnako, National Audit Office report you gain, you may implicate the president. Implicate, I mean, in the sense that Office of the President itself is involved in the contract of Secure Report and all that, and the Minister of Justice advised them not to go in for it, yet they disregarded it. So this no yep. I mean, to be honest, if we are honest to ourselves and honest to this country, lii dañ ko war a gisee noo xam ne, I mean, people have their opinions. Everybody is entitled to that. But is the president really interested in fighting corruption? Today, he is really interested in fighting corruption. This is not the only thing. I mean, councils are not the only bodies or institutions that he should look at. All other government institutions, including his own office, should be investigated in terms of how the security report. Because at the end of the day, $164 million is not coming from President Barrow's pocket. It's coming from us, the poor taxpayers. $164 million. Are we even aware how this contract was being negotiated? How much it was? So people cannot just come because President Barrow wants to, I mean, the government is just corny and wants to convince everybody that I'm interested in fighting corruption. And then you come to one, wow, you know, the set a commission be, Bahna, and all that not. Charity begins at home. So, in a sense, what I'm trying to say, I'm not necessarily saying that this is a witch hunt against the UDP. Let's be clear. Because UDP is not the only party in councils. You have other political parties, that even though UDP dominates.
Yes.
So MAN is a political witch hunt against political opponents. Let me generalize it, because Munuma Wane is UDP, because UDP is not the only political party occupying those, having those councils.
Okay, but legally, nakala warandeke a political witch hunt to political parties, or yes, as you said it.
But okay, if you look at it, it's the
time election be prepare
but that's it. Lot of money timing.
Okay, so this is a political point for the government.
Of course, because the thing is,
do you think they have a point?
Whether who has a point?
Commission setting up this commission just before election.
I mean, when you say they have a point, are you talking about political points?
Yes, are they going to gain something by setting up this?
Of course, you see, you have to be very conscious of the realities of African politics. One thing, there were politics of infrastructure. African politicians can use that many a times, you know, and Barrow does that. But also, some of these commissions, especially looking at financial issues, these are things that can easily damage somebody's reputation. We're talking about, you know, a potential candidate for the NPP in KM, right?
Yes.
You know, some people have started saying that, oh, Padiem, whatever. You know the scandal that people have started talking about, right?
Yes.
And of course, Mota Sohole, even the court ruling that is now stopping the executive from, you know, dissolving council 3 months before election. That itself was a big blow to the executive, because the prediction is that, since, I mean, if they bring their own people into these councils, probably they're also going to engage in what? Which one gain and you want? And all that not. And that is going to stain these people. Like, these are politicians that are thinking along that line. Understand, Alimawa? So at the end of the day, if the commission is being set up, you them shortly before election, gain a send report, and the report says the councils have done this, such a halis niakni. I mean, that also sends a message to the voters out there.
But you know, election can be over. Election munna the commission is still mugitahaw.
No, but you say munna am.
Well, if nega di tay sun demé election tay li dafa stretch, because according to the TOR, they can even extend the time.
But it's not yet extended.
Okay, it's not yet extended.
The duration is 3 months.
Yes, the duration is 3 months.
And that's going to be up before election.
Yes.
Before chairperson and mayoral elections.
That will be after the elections.
The 3 months.
Yes, it will go after elections.
No, but
okay.
You see, at the end of the day, whether commission be after election laje or before election laje or whatever, even after election, it can have reputational issues on the chairpersons and the mayors.
Okay, but my point is, come like Lee is a political witch hunt for political parties. Let's say Rohimalo won by the Banjo seat, and the commission is still going. Then Rohimalo will be going to the commission as the new mayor. You understand? So I don't understand the part like this is a political witch hunt, you know, to political parties to frustrate their efforts.
Mariam, I think the I don't know how to put it in Wolof. Why it's very clear that, I mean, really, if you look at you know, the justification, the reason behind setting up the commission, and like I said, the timing. 2018. These people came to power office in 2018.
Yes.
2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. You had ample time to look into all these issues that you have highlighted. Link highlights in the working of the commission, the mandate of the commission, what they are going to look into. If really the president was interested in accountability, transparency, and all the financial responsibility, he should have, especially when he won a second term in 2021, he could have worked on the commission. But you know what more? You look at, you see, it's not only that, come then talk just before election. But I'm telling you that there was a court order which says that you cannot dissolve councils.
But the ministry is saying, like, the court order and, the political vision, it has nothing to do, with this commission. Because they said, okay, I'm telling you, the government said this has been going on, the setup, it has been going on even before.
No, what do you expect? What do you expect of TCN?
So somebody government, they have been planning this even before.
No, I'm not saying that.
That is what they said.
No, what I'm saying is that
that is what the government said.
Government can be funny. And what do you expect him to say apart from this?
Okay.
So at the end of the day, my point is, like I said earlier, I'm problem in investigating government or public institutions, because these public institutions are run by taxpayers. That's where the salaries are coming from. There's one of the mandate also, when you are commission, we will look into the salaries, for example, how salary increments have been done. President Bisi Bopan then increase salary and fee. We are good. National Assembly, this and all those parliamentarians then increase salary. We are good. You see, bother about all that, and then you also want to say part of their job is to also look at whether they have a strategic plan, overstaffing, whether they have overstaffed, and whether these people that have been appointed there, whether due process was followed. I mean, those are fine. Like, you want to know whether there was nepotism and all that, whether due process was followed.
Yes.
But no time is swing there, that a lot of things are happening, even within appointment within central government. But I'm just trying to say that the government needs to be very cautious how they deal with this thing. And you cannot dispute the fact that Lee has something to do with politics. Telena Tami Lima Bugawa. More alaji fum don wahe about audit and all that. I mean, the difference between audit, and of course a commission. Lima wah moy commission be council be. When they came to power office since 2018, they've been having their financial reports been presented, and most of the audit, the queries that have been raised by the FPAC committee, it's like at some point some of them were way back in 2019 when these people came newly in office. What was the role of the National Assembly in ensuring that these councils are proper financial management from 2018 Bunyewe office, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, but 2023? And how well was the government, central government, working that there was that financial discipline or fiscal discipline within the councils? I mean, then go say that. Okay, even though the audit office, the National Audit Office, may not be able to detect fraud, but FPAC committee, because the audit queries were being raised at the presence of the FPAC. So, I mean, I am just looking at so whole a government into office. A lot of commissions that have been set up. What have they yielded to us? That is something beneficial to the public. I mean, as far as accountability and transparency is concerned, many a times, sometimes the one name, sometimes some of these people that are into this, the government is a government of commissions, into the business of setting of commissions. At the end of the day, nobody will hear anything about them. Anything tangible could be beneficial to the taxpayers. You set up those commissions.
Okay. Garmi, ma believe in langa
Kurang. Mom sa dama won deluat mom bala may ñew ci Kurang. Parce que deluat moy bo xolé FPAC muy kurel gi nga xamné mom lañ denk ñuy lu ñutu walu li nga xamné moy lu jëm ci saxu rew mi ci ngombalan gi muy ci pencum da rew mi ki nga xamné jité nako di Alhaji Estabo ci langue UTP gi bëgguma ñoo wax rek ni comme luñ taxawal ni muy kurel gi des ko bëgg faagagalé UTP dédét manam fi mo bëgg ñëwé moy est-ce que FPAC ba xolé du BCC muy goxu Banjul dañ dakk li nga xamné moy sen finance statement bi KMC ak yeneen ci gox yi nek ci réew mi fi def na né ki nga xamné moko jité ci bopam genn na tax ñu reject ko ndax am na ay yenn yoo xam ne gisuñu ko ci te dañ ko ci war a gis moo tax ñu joxaat leen ba léegi est-ce que du loolu tamit léegi nguur gi gis na ne kon jot na nag kon ma jéem a xool fii ndax war naa fa mën a luñutu ndax gis naa ne ñu ci bari seen doxalin dëppoowul ak li yoon santaane fooguloo ne loolu moo tax nguur
wax na ko fii ministre bi si boppam wax na it's a political investigative process te mbiri bi leneen lañ war a bàyyi xel like when it comes to the FPAC nañ si génne partisan politics in the sense that FPAC su moo investigate it's not necessarily investigating this council because it's headed by UDP or it's headed by NDP or it's headed by DOI ñoom dañoo investigate in the interest of the they're hearing, let me not say investigate, but they're hearing from the councils in the interest of the public. And it's of interest to the public without looking at the affiliation. Because, okay, UDP, KM is led by UDP, BCC is led by UDP, Alaji Dabo is from UDP, and he should not, because I've seen that. I've seen some UDP falls, some of them Alaji Dabo si bopam, UDP la, but this is not about partisan politics here. At the level of the committee in the National Assembly. And the committee will not necessarily look at because given to them, the money that is given to them, a committee, the way they are doing this council, FPAC committee, reject the recent report, even institutions like implicate fee. Nyata institutions raise concern to say that this and this and this and this is missing. Even today, for a publicity, audit office report, $22 million proceed from the Jammeh Commission is unavailable. So if the government is allotted by the FPAC and National Audit Office report that warrant the investigation into the councils, the government should equally be allotted by the FPAC and the National Audit Office report that will warrant it to set up investigations into financial activities, dubious, especially dubious contract awardings that involves even the office of the president.
Okay.
Kurang, aska it nag nguur gi ci yenn doxalam ci wàllu commission yi ñu fi tegoon yëpp ndax du bii rek mooy kuréel bi du gulet ci nguuru Adama Barrow ndax gis nañ fi ay kuréel yu bëree bëri est-ce que it daanaka bu fekkee taxaw nañ fi kuréel yu bëri waaye bu ñu paree sàkkutee fi muy recommendation yi daanaka du ñu gis dara luñ ci doxal maanaam bu ñëwee ba ci wàllu implementation muy ndoxal gi duñ gis dara luñ ci doxal est-ce que du taxul nag ñu bëri ci askan wi jàpp ne lii moom dañ ko def nii rek ngir galgal gaa yi ci wàllu politique waaye nekkul lu leen yitteel dëgg-dëgg ndax boo xoolee ñëw nañ fi wax fi ci wàllu acute injury muy xale yi leen fi daloon Jammeh commission gis nañ ko fi TRRC white paper ba tey jile sàkkutee fi ñu ci tëral noonu yëpp daanaka ndoxal gi muy implementation yi day sooxe est-ce que du loolu moo tax ñu bari daanaka bile commission sawaruñ ci moom ñu jàppee ko ne politique rek la.
waaw xam nga naka commission ñaari yëf la. right first yëf bi mooy process bi ci boppam ñuy investiguer di xool di oote di laajte. Publicly. boo jeexalee loolu nga joxe recommendation dafay dem ci kula sampa. mooy ministre bi wala président bi wala samp nga report ci moom mooy second yëf bi right moom tam mu war a def implementation dina mun a nekk ne commission objective si compromise na ci first process bi ñu ko def dañ na ñu ngi ko defee jàllale ci yoon boo xam ne njëriñut ñu boobu recommendation bi su àggee li nga mun a def dina tuuti waaye mun naa am tam ñooñu def nañ liggéey bu rafet ñu yóbbu ko jox ko ministre bi wala président bi defut ci dara ñaari façon yi yëpp gis nañ ko fii right now commission nag boo ko xoolee foog nga jéem a laajte lan mooy target groupe bi parce que Jammeh commission dañ wax ne the Yahya Jammeh and close associates dafa commission foog mu specify ñen ñooy sa target investigation boo seetee commission in Faraba right da ngaa def investigation of the paramilitary officer together with the demonstrators foog nga specify sa parameters yi so léegi nag soo ne council commission who is the target foog nga demaat back to the local government act nga gis ne who runs a council kan moo dee doxal council bi right because yaa ngi am CEO and the final each council bu nekk te yaa ngi am tam the mayor or the chairperson ñaari mayor la Banjul KMC soo demee Mansa Konko parce que nga am chairperson now kan mooy who runs the council kan moo dee bind ay checks kan moo dee sign ay vouchers that is the CEO and the finance director so when you set up a commission so set up a nga ne council commission kan nga war a investigate it's not about the mayor or the chairman it's about the person who signs the checks who organizes the payments and who signs the vouchers. You understand what I mean? Why Amna Law Hamne is interesting that's happening in Gambia right now. Because the local government act dafa ñëw pour jéene ndóol bi ci gox yi nga xam ne central government bi du fa mun a aaga. So poverty eradication mooy the main object. Waaye ñun Gambians dañ feel ne that mission has failed. Who is responsible now? Nobody is saying that the chairman should sign a check. I don't expect that as an accountant. I expect that the CEO signs the check, countersigned by the chair, by the finance director. What has happened is that I'm not suspicion there are chairman and commissioner yo hamne ñom bay nañ sen power ci be jël power ci CEO bi ak finance director bi dolil ko sen bopa. You know, that's an issue. Understand? Because you also because you are a mayor or you are a chairman, you are using the political power. Comme luñ gisé fi du kenn mëna wax né commission amut njëri. Janet commission TRRC. Right? We am very disappointed ne the government send white paper bi nekkuñ diko follow and I'm very disappointed about some of the things yo xamné xew na ci commission ci comme like Janet commission. But still I appreciate the commission. I worked there for 1 year. I appreciate the process because the more feel for that 1 year or 2 years, I have seen almost 300 witnesses. Tina am witness you know, they are very happy to come and they report to the commission because their hands are clean and they are top officials in the APRC government. Yeah, nobody ever implicated financially Fabakar Tombong to say that he collected so much money in suitcases from the central bank, did you? But there were junior officers within the APRC government who collected millions in a fraudulent way, together with the president. Okay. So it doesn't mean that every top-ranking politician is implicated. If you are a politician, your hands are clean. There is no worry about how many commissions they bring. But if you usurp ngajel power si finance director bi, ngajel power of the CEO bi, nga dolil ko sa power because yow yaay mayor bi, nga break law. Okay. And you will be afraid and worried about the commission because yaa ngi jël powers yoo xam ne it doesn't belong to you. Okay. So this is an issue, right? Naka, when should you set up a commission? Banday moom la commission. Am na ñu wax ne jaane commission amoon nañ time boo xam ne def nañ I was there. Am nañ witness yoo xam ne ñu ngi doon contest for mayoral election at that time. It was 2018. While the commission was going on, the campaign for the mayoral and the parliamentary election was going on. Okay. And some people were being called to the commission who were APRC and they were participating in politics already. Understand? Okay. So, but what I don't want to do as a financial expert, I don't want to go so much into reading into the mind of the person who is investigating at that time or the government who is investigating in 2022. Why do you call Rambo? Why do you call so and so mayor? Well, I want to say that, are you doing the law at that time? And the law was being, the due process, right, we assume was being followed at that time. So when do you investigate a council? Their term is 5 years. Okay. There you do audit every year. That's an annual statutory process. Legal process la bo xamne dang ko wara def every year. Why commission do ko muna set up every year. Okay.
Gambe ma ñëw si Issa kii Mamadi wax na lu am solo. Léegi su fekkente ne tey comme lu mu doon wax rek yow nekk nga nit ko xamante ne ku déggu nga fo naa yi fi commission bi sax suñ ko waxee waree seet warul laa yëngal comme nit ñu ko wax nekk di waxee si biti.
You see, that's important. So they need to degunga. You're talking about also, you see, you're being, so idealistic here in an ideal situation. But is this what works, especially in African politics? He's speaking from a financial expert point of view. I am a political science lecturer. I speak from that angle, a political angle. And in an ideal situation, can worry if you're clean or whatever. But just like even this coup plot, one of the guys that was accused, when I met him, I knew he was very clean. I knew it. And he knew that he was very clean, even within the army. When I met him, he was like, my only fear is that this is Africa. When people want to implicate you, they can implicate you by all means. And the same thing could happen here. Somebody, a mayor or chairperson, could say that, Manhamnani, I am clean. But how about if they want to implicate me and I have no way, what is going to happen? Because this is a commission that is being set up by the president in line with the constitution. That is one aspect. So,
yes.
No, just allow me to learn. What I'm trying to say is that you cannot say how will they implicate you if they are clean. You have no control over that.
No, you cannot.
No. You have no control over that, Alaji. You said something here. I think you've been so idealistic by saying that, okay, during the time, for example, the timing, when, how do you call it, the Rambos and the orders, Yankuba Koli was not contesting the 2018 mayoral election. He was not. And you have to understand that this was when the government came to power, 2017, they were in the process of setting up these commissions. The TRRC, the Jammeh Commission, by an act of parliament. So you can't rush and have those commissions set up in 2017. There was no bad timing to have that in 2018. So you can't compare Jammeh Commission, for example, and the current commission that is being set up. That's one. Two, you're also talking about, it's good that you have admitted that you are disappointed how some of these things are, but you're saying that you wouldn't say that Jammeh Commission and all these commissions are useless or what. I'm not saying they are useless. But just today I'm telling you that Foria is reporting that $22 million in proceeds from the Jammeh Commission is unfounded, it's unavailable.
Yes.
We say, no, I'm coming. Jammeh, even Jammeh's assets, how they've been sold. Nothing is clear about all that. People are in a limbo about what happened to Jammeh's assets. What is one reason, Momsi Bop, I don't want to go into that. But one reason why he had to even leave that place. So at the end of the day, after those commissions, especially the Jammeh Commission, the tax to pay these people to run these commissions. His salary, he was getting us. All those people that we are being paid there, we were paying them. So government, we have to be aware of how corny African politicians can be, especially government, incumbents. So we cannot be here, the national everything, just because the constitution gives powers to the president, and then we are all fine to say that, wow, nakodef, time in Bini, we have to be aware of how corny politicians, and then we don't have to be living in this utopian, idealistic world. We know what is realistic in African politics. Implicate, even if you are not.
But how can they do that? Like, how can they implement somebody?
I'm not saying, no, wait. And don't quote me wrong. I'm not saying that they're going to implicate these mayors and chairpersons.
Nobody is saying like you said that. Like what? And then how can they? Yes, how can one be implicated?
If you're clean, so they need degunga. You don't have to. That's the
worry.
War of all of right. Degunga. I don't know. You don't have to worry. I am telling you that is so idealistic. That is so utopian. Wow, if you're clean, you don't have to worry. I'm telling you that there are different ways to implicate somebody. I don't know how commissions can do that, but I'm telling you that people can be implicated. You can never tell.
MC man fu mu bëggoon ñu ñëwaat mooy xam nga wax nañ fi wàllu commission bi léegi duñu xool ci ñi nga xam ne ñooy juróom ñu tànn ngir ñu doxal kii bi ndax fii léegi ñu ngi fi waxi impliqué maanaam dugal leen bu fekkee defuñ sax ñu taxal leen ak nangam léegi foog naa loolu dafay delluwaat ci juróom ñi nga xam ne ñoom lañ tabbu ngir ñu saytu leen ñoom yan façon nit leen ndax nekk na nit ñoo xam ne lu ñu gi ñu war a def muy investigation bi dinañ ko def ci nu ko yoon santaane te duñ ci dugal dara loo xam ne day am ay ndëgg sërëx ak yooyu noonu
ñu bàyyi Mamadou Courang mu def
waaw mun ngaa xool because moom ba tey foog naa loolu mooy utopian nga xam ne loo xam ne musta yow maa ngi foog ne as an accountant or as a financial guy it's not possible nga implicate koo xam ne it's clean. How? First of all sooy def investigation boo xam ne ci ron la ci suuf la ci gannaaw la ci lu noba la waaw di nga ko mën a def waaye commission dafa nekk a transparent is the most transparent investigative way waxuma la ne lu gaay mun a def ak luñ war a def ak luñ def war a def fuñ ko after the commission the recommendation waaye process bi is not like hidden de suñ génne evidence dañ la dee wax ne commission any evidence bu fa nekk yow sa boppa mun ngaa jóg fii nga def ci commission nga ne ko exhibit démba bi ngeen submit jox leen ma ko is public information right questioning bi is public information witness bi mun naa indi own lawyer am di laajte su fekkee ne dafa bugg a cross examine another witness ku ko bugg a implicate so obviously nothing human is perfect understand waaye sooy ñëw nga make sa main theory ne dinañ la mun a implicate and you are clean that's utopian boobu mooy utopian right
waaw juróom ñi nga xam ne nga 5 members ñoom lañ tànn ci kuréel googu waaw xam nga léegi ñu ngi waxi nan la kuréel gi di doxee ndax kuréel googu dina doon kuréel goo xam ne dafay nekk kuréel gu tëddee njaaxanaay boo xam ne ku ñëw maanaam dafay nekk kuréel goo xam ne ñu fa nekk dañ koy doxal ci yoon maanaam fair and blanc duñu fa nekk di la jéem a dugal ci parce que dafa am ñu nekk seen ginnaaw ak yooyu ndax juróom ñooñu yow boo leen gisee
xam nga
ndax ñooñu doy nañ leen ba nga xam ne yow ñii lañ leen tegee foofu ngir ñu def ko dinañ ko def ca na mu waree
waaw xam nga commissioner doo mun a xool nit nii rek nga xam yëpp lu nekk ci moom understand tey boo jëlee commissioner dafa war a nekk koo xam ne dafa independent nekkul commissioner bi rek lawyer bi amul waru cee am interest Gambia moom dafa tuuti xam nañ ko right man su ma la waxee ne léegi nii fu ma jógee right te ma ne la maa nga investigate Mariama boo xoolee di nga gis ne man maa Mariama am na fuñ bokkee understand li leen la so yow lan nga war a xool nag war a xool balaa mun naa xool commissioner bi balaa moo toog comme nga ne ko waaw kii waxoon na lii defoon na lii liggéeyoon na ci council bi léegi nii mu ngi nii understand nga waaye comme Gambia nuñ ko dee bugg a waaye kii ci parti bi la bokka te maybe waaw da nga war a gis te tam da am na fa executive position da supportal rek because ku nekk mu ngi ci politics right loolu mu ngi ci waaye loolu yëpp ba tey am na lu ko gën a am solo commissioner yi buñ toogee ba pare suñ toogee ba pare foog nga da ngaa déglu because ñoom ñu ngi investigate ñun public tam am nañ right pour xool leen investigate leen evaluate leen gars yi ñu ngi déglu yow lan ngay nekk di laajte understand soo follow social media bi da nga ko dee xam so ci loolu nag di nga mun a xam ne ko am na leneen tam lu ci nekk because yow soo nekkee witness ñu oola ñu ne la kaay nga testify am nga right pour ñëw ak sa lawyer bi su fekkee ne man maay sa lawyer bi te yow yaa ngi ñu ngi laa question yow yaa ngi fil ne commissioner bii nii kii am na lum am ci man right am na lum defoon ci man am na lum jote woon ak man te man maa ngi foog lawyer bi mun naa jóg mu raise ko out understand waaw prosecutor bi mun naa jóg mu prosecutor out na kii dañ fil ne dafa war a excuse boppam ci case bi nii because of this and this reason moo tax ma ne la dafa am checks and balances commission law in the Gambia is since 1907 or thereabout 110 years Gambia am na commission law understand waaye dafa am checks and balances and your lawyer knows it my lawyer knows it so I cannot go into a commission and put you in a situation which is illegal.
But ma ñëw tuuti Garmi ba léegi si commission si maanaam commissioner si seen boppa just few minutes ago before we start this program ki nga xamante ne mooy Imam Babali ñëpp xam nañ ne mu si Human Rights Commission bi moom nag def na gëstu ne du mën a nekk si commission bi parce que li nga xamante ne mooy the act surrounding the the Human Rights Commission does not allow him to go be in another commission. Foglo ne comme li yakamti fi nguur bi la bañ janga di misplaced priorities jël ko xamantene mu ci benen commission di ko fa bolé fi nek ni légui instead of 5 légui am nañ fofu nek nguur bi dañu wara lijeenti waat keneen ko xamantene dina mëna place babali fi nga jangate digënté bobu
man firstly bu ma gisé 5 nit ma ngi laajte lu tax 5. Jammeh Commission mooy the biggest financial investigation in the history of the Gambia. 3 commissioners la woon.
Okay. Manam bi dafa ëpp
daal. For 22 years to invest every aspect of the government. It's 3 commissioners.
Okay.
Te yaa ngi def investigate 5 years. Yaa ngi bugg a am 5 commissioners. For 5, of course I know council is significant. So because boo xoolee yeneen council yi ñu ngi report seen income yi di nga gis ne ci 5 years bi seen total xaalis bu ci dugga dem na about $1 billion.
Okay.
Understand? So yaa because commission su fekkee ne man maay investigate bi balaay maa dem foog ma xalaat ne lan laa nekk di uti. So I'm looking for $1 billion in one council.
Okay.
Maybe if there are 7 councils, I'm looking for $5 billion. How the money up? $1 billion. How the $5 billion is spent.
Okay.
So why mom naka 5 commissioners is too much for me, right? 3 bahon na because dina don gawlo process be. So ame 5, 6, 7, 8. Febar amna fi ki amna fi pour ngeen muna dego ak meeting daf de bari. Commission dafa need so much time. That's one. Secondly, right? Hejna su fegane amna benen stage la meje duma comment why commission bi start and good ak nonu dina muna comment right mom is a religious leader so right ERRC li is not so large as I define li amut anything emotional about it. There is a legal process, right? Surahata moma de wax ne commission is a quasi legal process. It's a quasi judicial process. It's not a judicial process like in a court of law. So, and I know why that quasi, because there is a political element. Your client, your patron is the politician who gave you. Of course, he gave you a time of reference, and you have some protection under that time of reference. So, quasi judicial process la. So, so much in the naka religious leader, mange like hejna lan motanga in the religious leader, right? Because mange expect these accountants, legal people, di gis ñoo xam ne am nañ experience to work in councils or money transactions yooyu laa soxla gis li amut ndaa kii def na lii lu ànd ak diina bi nda lu àndut ak diina bi ko loolu mu xëj na loolu moo war a tax maay indi imam waaye otherwise lu tax maay indi imam.
ok still si commissioner si garbi nga baala ma rek bala ngaa ñëw nga ne 5 yi dafa xala sakan comme si yow léegi comme commissioner si seen boppa ñu tudda ñu si mel ni Samba Fall Remi Joyna come looking at their personalities, like do you think they are the right people to investigate these council issues?
Yeah, I mean it's a subjective. Samba Fall he was an ex-mayor.
Mayor Bajo.
You need somebody somebody ko xamne na participate at the top level because it is the duty of the management to detect and prevent fraud. So he was a manager. Mom manager la won ci council. Mom dina am inside knowledge because laajte bi dafa important gis na papek bi am na yo problème yo xamne ñu ci papek bi ya nge laajte xejna dem nga ci expert bi jox na la side information why follow up question bi mo gëna am solo because ya nge laajte ko xamne mo xamna lu mo def te yow soy laajte already gis na sa weakness of your question dina la mëna jox flyer ni nga démé ni fekk mo mu ngay démé ni you need somebody ko xamne xamna council bi num dé doxé so you need experienced manager who was managing a council before so that's well what is the political affiliation I don't know and really I don't see Samba much in politics well Oremi Joyna join ko fi ñu ñaka ko dem IEC isn't it right what was the thing you know he was an official member of the party I don't know of any information what position la hold in NPP and so well I know that work in a bank and there's going to be a lot of banking stuff there a lot of banking stuff in this because the investigation da nga nek di like the bank statement rek pour guy explain so you need a banker
and he's good there
you need a banker I'm not sure whether you need Remy or what but you need a banker so whether you need Remy or not is another debate Yeah, but you need somebody with a banking or something like that background.
Okay.
waaw ma ñëw man ñëw si Essa man ci li may ñëw mooy ndax tey jii lu ñuy wax rek lu ji coow li yëpp bëri woon na tamit foofee ci makkaanu KMC mooy dellu si waatu Dieynaba Martin te luñ fi waxtaani Seynabou Martin maa ngi jégalu si mu naan Dieynaba Seynabou Martin si dellu si waatam foofu ci KMC moom mooy CEO bi ginnaaw ba nga xamee ne amoon na yenn njortu yuñ defoon ci moom ba dàqandi woon ko wala sax ajandi woon ko moom nag fipp na ne day ñëw amoon na si biir ñëw bi sax gis nañ ne nguur gi wala waaw nguur gi génne woon nañ ab li nga xam ne mooy stable muy statement doon wax ne nañ ko bàyyi mu dem képp koo xam ne di nga ko jéem a gàllankoor ba gis nañ tamit taalib muy farabu KMC génne woon na moom it ab audio sax defe naa ñu bëri jàpp nañ sax moo dalal mbir mi ba ñu mën koo bàyyi mu dem waaye ci biir dem dellu si waatam gi ba mu demee def ne amul caabi ngir mën a dugg ci bureau bu liggéeyu kaayam nan nga jàngatee loolu.
nga ñëw rek ñu lifin li nga xamante ne mooy commissioner si like nitty-gritties and then Babali's letter that he gonna be part of the commission. So don't you think there was a haze in the government, or like how do you see the nitty-gritties of this commissioners?
Well, I think Mbiri Baba Libi, for example, like he said, definitely he's so holy Baba. Okay, Samba Fall, for example, you could say former mayor, understandable. Remy Joyner, how makode? To be honest, I don't know Remy Joyner, but tumko wahe bankala. I don't like. What I mean is how Makomoine. I don't know her, background and all that. No, I don't know much about her. Then the other commissioner, I think there's a third one and the fourth one, yes. Haumalin Buba. But then Sohole Babali, what is the background, for example? I think he studied engineering at some point, Islamic background, but nothing to do with experience in working in local government. He has no experience in that. He has no experience in finance as well, or accountants or economists or whatever. So, Momunekasi Commission be probably, will raise some issues and all that, not whether they're able to do the job perfectly. Well, I mean, commission is his area, so I think he'll be able to help us more with regards to composition and all that. But so
you're throwing it back to Mr. Kuran.
No. So anyway, see, the composition as well. Come for example, Babali Bossam, like what we've seen, the withdraw, in the sense that he is part of another commission, that is the National Human Rights Commission, and that he's a full-time employee. More they report to work every day. Okay.
Yeah.
So you being part of another commission of inquiry, is it that now, though them ligay, them focus on this commission of inquiry and you'll not be reporting to work? If you're doing that, then it means you're cheating as well. Yeah. So moine either whether nga resign si job bobu or nga just leave without pay, for example. It's a better leave of absence law. Those are administrative procedures. Or nga just leave of absence or whatever, but without pay, and then focus on this. So I think these were some issues that were being raised. I heard about it. I was hinted that he was going to resign. He was going to withdraw rather from the commission. But I mean, I couldn't talk about it because it wasn't official and all that. But these are the explanations that were given to me that the withdraw. This was since yesterday, and today, not surprising that it came out. But whether the government then rush into this or they did not rush into this, what is important is if this thing is going to be done, because I've made it very clear that this is something that I don't endorse. My opinion is that it's politically motivated, and of course, what I mean by politically motivated is partisan politically motivated, and the president is just looking for political capital out of this. So, but then at the end of the day, if you're going ahead with it, I think the commissioners should be of high standing in terms of integrity, and also experience, background matter a lot in order to ensure that there is fair process, due process is followed in ensuring that what the government claim the Luleng Buga, more that financial accountability and whatever transparency muam, so that at the end of the day mujural ñu dara as ñun askan bi ñoo xamne ñoo nekk di fay tax bi. To your question,
dama ci bëgg ñëwaat mooy tàmbaleegul maanaam samp nañ kuréel gi ñu jëloon leen ñoom juróom ngir ñu doon ñu koy jiite ngir ma am lañ bët gi tàmbalee guñ sax maanaam vraiment dinañ leen waatal balaa ñuy door seen liggéey kenn bàyyi joxe na lu firnde li tax mu bàyyi waaye est-ce que it ndax nit ñi seen xalaat kenn moomu ko du am lu mu jur ci ne lu tàmbalee gu sax nit ñi tàmbalee bàyyi ak ñenn ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ci biti te taxul ñu sax ñoom ñu gëm kuréel gi li ko tax a jóg est-ce que duñ xalaatee neneen lu wuteeg firnde yi nga xam ne moom Imam Babali joxe na ko.
Well, I think moom reason bu mu joxee foog naa loolu la ñu war a believe in like loolu la ñu war a believe loolu la ñu war a gëm that lii mooy reason bi because si moom la jógee moom lañ appoint I mean as a commissioner and then not yet sworn in mu gis decide ne dafa war a withdraw and these are reasons why mu war a withdraw or whatever so if today others have different opinions different beliefs that xëj na there is something different why mu withdraw from the commission I think that's a matter of opinion. Lolo wouldn't necessarily, and sometimes also because I've had somebody say that, hey, na commissioners and didn't withdraw. I'm not quite sure because Babali Bossam is quite different. So that might not necessarily be the case for other commissioners as well because like this is something worthy in their view and they should go in for it. There's nothing that is stopping them.
So before we come to the issue of Martins, many people's mind comme like seen xel jaxasoo na yëpp si commission bi am bi ak indi bi ak time bi baaxut time election la dafa war a bàyyi nit ñi defen suñ delloo back président bi mos naa wax ne dina appoint yi nga xamante ne mooy ay governors si KMC ak li nga xamante ne mooy Banjul parce que feel na ne ñu ngi undermine moom développement am you understand so ñu toog ay fan wala ay weer gis ne créé na commission bi pour investiguer li nga xamante ne mooy council si te council si suñ ko seetee comme lu ma waxee woon njëlbeen rek ñi nga xamante ne ñoo UDP ñoo ko dominate fooguloo am doole bi ñu am doole foog na ne suñ dematee élection ñi nga xamante ne ñoo UDP dinañ dominate waat dinañ jëlaat place yi dinañ si toogaat mu gis ne daal loolu gënalu ko daal ba pare gënalu tamit li nga xamante ne mooy ruling party muy li nga xamante ne mooy NPP moo tax rek mu sampa kuréel bi pour rek gis ne dina frustré seen effort si during campaigns because lii dina dem ba boori election so what do you think about that?
Yeah, man dama foog ne soo amee a commission te yow politicien nga ñu ngi la investigate mun naa work in both ways mun naa nekk ne maa ngi set tey buñ ma ooyee nit ñi ñëpp gis nañ ne defuma dara right breakuma any law jëluma benn xaalis loo xam ne moomuma ko wala defeewuma ko xaalis anyway boo xam ne tey mun naa use plateforme bi tam right ak interview bi you know nit ñi suma supporters yi suñ ko gisee dinañ xam ne yëpp lu ma wax jaar na si yoon amuñ benn evidence against me loolu dafa ñëw as a positive to me
okay
so su fekkee ne UDP seen mayor si ak chairman yi they are clean lii opportunity la pour ñoom to go and prove ne council CEO si ñoo nekk di ron xaalis bi tey ñun laaluñ ci dara loo xam ne it's jaarut ak yoon te loolu dina gën a tax ñoom seen supporters yi ñu génn ñu ne waaw gis ngeen ne commission bi sampa nañ ko fii tey suñ mayor si ak suñ chairman si they are clean
waaye xam nga comme lu nekk olof Njaay ma ne lu yëngu lu ko yëngal ko ëpp doole parce que ñu bari laa wax ne lii mu doon raam di ñëw commencé ko nga si waxam boobu noonu mu jógee foofu noonu xam nga push and pull politics si fii here and there tey commission bii nii tey either clean nga or clean law but people think ne like they saw this coming when the president started talking all those things muy dem si nga xamante ne mooy council si especially mayors
waaw yeah am na xam nga push and pull bi mu ngi am yeah because man I'm not here to defend Barrow because ñëpp gis nañ lu ma dee suma opinions about the Barrow government tey is on record tey nekkuma fi tam di defend or otherwise on the UDP I'm just commenting as an independent obviously ñoom like if there is a politics we the opposition we have a lot we are saying against the government te loolu di continue di ko wax and whether they listen to us or not dinañ war a continue di ko wax now with the commission moom decide na ne he wants to come up with a commission at this time why obviously xam nañ ne there is a central government and there is a local government I believe that there is a lot of corrupt practices happening in the central government all right and I've said it I also believe from what the reports I'm hearing, the PAPEC interviews, what the auditors have been saying, and the rumors, when a mayor goes to parliament and say, I am not an duma accountant, man nekuma accountant. I can say from far as an accountant, there is high-level corruption in the councils.
But they are not accountant as well. They
they are not accountant. Why? Yes. Ham nañ xaalis. Ñëpp xam nañ xaalis. Nekkuloo accountant waaye xam nga xaalis. Xam nga fu mu dee génna fu mu dee duga. Right? Yow su fekkee ne yaa ngi jël xaalis bi di ko use with politics, we will say it.
Okay.
And, you know, whatever we can say, we will say it. The same way, the president also, whatever they are doing in the central government, anytime it comes to our notice, we will point it out.
So do you think, I don't know, is a defense for these, you know, councils, especially the mayors, that, okay, we don't understand issues we are going with this, like Rahim Malik Law, that is what she gave as a defense.
It's definitely,
can they do that?
It's no excuse whatsoever. Okay. Already, they said in law, ignorance is not an excuse.
Okay.
When you swear to the Quran that I am the appointed president or MP or mayor of this place, right? You know what you swear to protect the interests, the assets, and the properties, right, and the money of my people. That's what you are sworn into.
Sure.
So you know, right? Because dagajis netam wahnañ li, right? How much idara? Because lu feñ yaagaaruñ woon ne dina feeñee noonu te dina feeñ time boobu tam loolu tax na nga wax loolu waaye lu feeñ mooy yaa ngi def loo xam ne jaarut ak yoon so ñu attaque la ko nga ne xaw ma waaye yow yaa spend xaalis bi authorize nga te xam nañ ne that kind of innocence is not innocence because nit ku jël xaalisi commission right central government or xaalisi local government nga defee ko loo xam ne jaar amut benn business ak department bobu fi nga neka right on a different thing right obviously bobu is do muna wax ne right man how ma dara ci accounting ko bobu dafa nek yaange daw res yaange daw responsibility
te ya wonu ñu daw res okay
la ñuy jeexal fofu dugg ci benen ponk dama bëgg tejj ak mom man ci walu gi ndax fogulo it nak commission biñu set ni bile yoon dina doon loo xam ne dina doon exemple bu ñu nepp noppee ni ñu koy defee maanaam ci biir ni ñuy li ñu tudd mooy investigation ba ñu paree ba jébbal li nga xam ne mooy Sakku TV ñi ñu ko war a jébbal jaarale lépp ci yoon nguur gi tamit Sakku TV bu ñu ko jotee ñu doxal ko ni ñu leen ko santaane te duñ ci teg dara foogloo ne biir commission dina ñëw jur loo xam ne amaana léegi benn yoonete sax bu nguur gi taxawalatee commission nit ñi si seen bopp ñoom ñooy gën a yàkkamti sax loolu am maanaam bii dina doon boo xam ne mooy doon maybe turning point boo xam ne nit ñi dañ ci gis ne waaw kay bii jur na njëriñ ndax yu bëri yaa ngi wax ne taxaw nañ fi commission yu bëri yoo xam ne gisul benn njëriñ boo xam ne jural na ko askan wi foogloo ne bii dina doon léegi njëlbeenug yoon ngir ñu tàmbalee ko.
This will not be any turning point because it's not done in good faith. That's the bottom line. In the sense that, comme ni ma ko waxee, and I've said this repeatedly on my media appearances, especially on this commission, that this government under President Adama Barrow is not serious about fighting corruption. The commitment is not there. Even the State of the Nation address, Barrow will not spend even 3 minutes or 4 minutes talking about his government's preparedness to fight corruption in this country. Independence address Bifini just on Saturday. There was nothing that the president talked about when it comes to corruption. He's not serious about fighting corruption. The anti-corruption bill is still lying there, that gathering dust. No one knows the fate of that. Office of the president is involved in some dubious activities that has to do with signing some of these contracts. Security report is one of them. So this commission, like I said, is not done in good faith, and this will be my stance till eternity, that this government is not setting up this commission in good faith. Therefore, it will not be an example. Of course, this is the starting point or a turning point now for us as far as transparency and accountability is concerned. Today, the government is serious about this. President Barrow is serious about this. Then he would have started from somewhere. All these reports that are coming out, he's turning blind eyes to them. So, just at this stage, Buganyu convinced ne setting up this commission, not only the enemy, he's just being crony as a politician as usual. So that is, for me, that's a non-starter. It's not going to yield anything positive for us as far as transparency and accountability is concerned. Munna mo jur something positive for him. as a politician, but not for us as far as transparency and accountability is concerned. Telena manko bugawa. I mean, finger don't want to come, even the issue of appointing mayors and governors. You see, commission be so whole. Let's the idea of setting up this commission. Mother, you said that whether like on the side of the government, they were planning it or whatever, but holal the incidents that happen. You're talking about the court order, right? But you're also talking about the president from Tawe. He was so angry. Wow, then fu ubi KMC, then ubi complex and office complex, invite to learn government, sir. When KMC said nyom invite the government, the ministry. Okay, they did not come. Nyen invite opposition, they didn't roll a red carpet. No nako wahe, right? Mune wa Banjul, so le na ubi sen office complex, mane na wa ngen invite nyo. In fact, chabi bi dañ ko jël, ngeen jox chabi bi xawma ngeen jox ko kan, koku jël ko hand over to yen ni ak ni petty politics. Here is a man who is just constantly into petty partisan politics. It's not of benefit to Gambians. Our people are into abject poverty. 53% of our population are into poverty. Corruption, 110 out of 180 countries. We're only better than 70 countries. Okay? Poverty. Everybody has become a beggar in this country. You go to the supermarkets, you go to the banks. Unemployment high among young people. Crime. We have a lot of pressing issues to deal with. So more than man, if we are honest to ourselves and honest to our country, let's tell this man the truth. Okay. Gambia is bigger than UDP, Gambia is bigger than NPP, Gambia is bigger than President Barrow, Gambia is bigger than Lawyer Dabo. Gambia is at a standstill as far as our development is concerned. Okay. Between NPP and UDP, there are continuous political bickering. We have more pressing issues. How do you improve the lives and livelihoods, living conditions of Gambians? Economic hardship, okay. High cost of living, these are like that is what we are interested in. But continuous political bickering, this is the only content. And you talk about the issue of decentralization. This now, it's very important that government is very mindful of the Gambia unitary system as opposed to federal. The unitary system, we have decentralization. Decentralization more part of our devolve. There are certain things that central government in office complex, even schools in a proper decentralized system of governance. Three fundamental roles here. Okay. Security, economy. Okay.
We almost ran out of time, but I want us to discuss this issue. That is the issue of Senabu Martin returning to work today. We gis ñun ñep tay gis nañ vidéo ci bimu démé audio ci génné nañ bala tay ta dugal li nga xamantene moy officer comme tay so doon janga tay lan moy sa take on
te mom sax KMC dañ def lo xamné war dafa gëna dégëral argument yi government bi pour ñu set up a commission. Understand? Dafa dañ gëna jox government CEO bi right moy fraudulent ñu ne dafa jël dafa waaye gis ne 12 million bi génn na duga na soxam mu ngi ko amee fu mu nekk so dafa mel ni garanti boo xam ne amul autorité deful ko pour def ko mu ngi si moom léegi ni understand so dafa mel ni dañ ko trap with an administrative xëj na wrong loo xam ne mu ngi ko def administrative waru koo def nekkul ne xaalis bu mu jël la understand wante loolu afi ne ci njëkka wan butut sax ñun accountants yi dañ ko dee bëgg a laajte right wante ñoom KMC génne nañ ñu ne 2021 xaw ma 2022 ñoom collect nañ $285 million waaye lu ma gis si xicoo bi ñoom they want it koo xam ne approve na for a loan or sign na guarantee boo xam ne is 12 million on behalf of the staff association ñoom bëggu ñoo liggéey ak right wante ñoom am na allegations loolu man as an accountant def ma jox insight into because man as a systems accountant su ma waxee dara ci company dama toog may xalaat kon lan moo nekk di dox ci company bi te lu man am di laajte mooy ndax CEO bi mooy kan CEO bi moom la government jël représenté ko to di council pour ñoo togloo CEO bi munuñ ko togloo na I have to be proven by a court of law. There must be a legal. Court be decide ne yes dafa war a delloo isam mu dem court order pour dem ci office am ngeen dem office bi lu tax yaa ngi woone ne yéen a ko gën a set waaye loolu ñun gisuñ ko because moom mu ngi answer for 12 already season suspension mu ngi answer for 12 million on a staff case. You are all the allegations for the 285 million in a year, $1 billion in 5 years or more. What have you answered? You went to PAPEC, sa answer si doyun. Auditor si, sa answer si satisfying line. And you said a commission is a witch hunt.
Okay, so
what is the basis? Right? In a witch hunt, then it to enter the office. On what basis? It's not legal. Jarut ak ben law.
Okay.
If there is a dispute, the public want to know what is the bottom of the truth.
Sure.
The truth at the bottom of the thing.
Okay.
And only a commission can do that. Again, a central government is doing any steps in the memory of the Gambians. A commission established facts so hamne. Lawyers dinañ la wax ne benen government mun na ñew in 50 years time.
Okay.
The facts are there.
Okay.
Mu follow ko, mu implement ko.
Okay.
So let all the truth come out wherever in this country they are. If the Barrow government don't take action, one government in another century will take action.
Then take office B. Lulu is news to me. Like follow my issue because I was a bit busy during the day. Why Demba, I read the press release from the Ministry of Local Government. Regional governments. I also read Talib's, I think, KMC's response with regards to it. I think Talib was at one point saying that si office be or premises be or whatever. At some point, KMC be stand off. But at some point, could be then could clear because not be her because in fact I think early February ñewon na ba ci office am guy waxtaan about her issue mu ne ko ne elect that is 22nd of February they will sit over her issue the general council and they will discuss whatever. So I mean comme na dañ tej bunta bi office am pour duga lolu is news to me and it's shocking, it's surprising. Su dee bàyyi nañ ko gisuñ caabi su dee ñoom bàyyi nañ ko because according to lu Talib Demba and what we read from the KMC send statement or whatever, in fact, they are not stopping this lady. The government is the one trying to portray as if they are stopping the lady. So I'm surprised that Luta Muwara them basic council Muruta Dugasi office be.
Okay, so your situation be la moy sa janga dal comme situation be dem Muruta Dugasi.
But more to be honest.
Okay. Thank you so much Mr. Njie.
Wow, man mom daanaka li ma ko doon laaj ci loolu la ñëw
parce que time bi moo xoj nañu moo
loolu waaw defe naa dama fi tàggoo rek man waaw tàggu ñi ñu doon seetaan di wax ne buñ dooree ñun dañuy continuer ak ñoom waaw gërëm tamit suñu
thank you so much jërëjëf Garmi jërëjëf Mamadi Kurang si waxtaan bi ak ki nga xamante ne mooy Issa Njie di leen wax ne nag programme bi dafa nekk loo xam ne ay programme bi fii si Eyeafrica TV di leen sant di leen gërëm dox leen di daje ba suba incha allah bye bye